Dave Bowers here again at Old Window Restores. We've got a couple of sash in the steamer here, the steam cabinet, and they've been in about 45 minutes, and I'm getting ready to pull them out, or at least one. Alright, as I said, this sash has been in for about 45 minutes in the steamer. The method I'm using on this is a 2-inch wide, heavy, stiff putty knife. It's a Hyde, but the brand doesn't matter. That's what I'm using for the deglazing. Now, this is quickly becoming my favorite method, because what I found was that the more flexible putty knives, too easy to get underneath of a point and break the glass. With the heavier knife, it's more likely to push the point out of the way and not damage the glass in the process. And you see those hesitancies in there, those are the points that I'm coming up against, and rather than jamming them through, you want to make sure that you're pushing them out of the way. And sometimes I'll have to resort to another tool sometimes to get one out because it's stubborn. There's one right there. I'm going to go back and get it in just a second. Now, it's your option, but this sash is good and hot at this point, and this paint on the side here is probably going to come off pretty easily. Doesn't want to come, you don't have to force it. You can finish it up later with heat gun or other methods or carbide scraper or whatever. But while you're there, you're right next to it, and it comes right off, go for it. Saves you more work. It's not going to get any easier than this. Turning it fully upside down, and I've dumped most of the glazing off, so I'm sure where I am before I start trying to push the glass out. You can hear the glass loose mostly. Some people wonder about the moisture from the steam. Usually within about 24 hours the moisture content's back just about what it was. With some measurements that have been done on other sash, found that it may raise the moisture content up to 12 to 15%, but it goes right back to normal within usually about 24 hours. So that's very acceptable. There's no damage done to the sash. Certainly it isn't permanent by any means as far as the moisture. And out of the hundreds records, I've never had one that it caused any problem with. This is some of what I call my notorious black glazing compound. I'm not sure what they add to it. Probably has a fair amount of lead. So you see now that the steam and the moisture is already disappearing. I'm not wearing a mask simply for the purpose of this video. But typically I do wear my particle mask because you do, by the time you get done, you do start to get some dust generated. Generally it's moist and wet, but you want to wear that particle mask even during this operation, just for safety. As I say, by the time you get to this point, things are starting to dry up. Okay? So, we've got a full sash of glass here. We didn't break any glass, so there's no loss there. Just kind of scrape these off a little bit. Set them aside. You see me turning them over like that and stacking them up. That's because I try to put the glass back in the same order that came out. So this is a lower sash, so this will be whatever the name is, lower sash 1. So I've got 1 through 6, I don't need to number all the rest of them.